Welcome back. We are going to be talking about the unittest.mock library. Really quickly, we're going to touch on the two things that I use the most, which are mock as well as the patch function in the unit test library. So let's dive in. First off, let's just quickly explain the function that I'm going to be mocking. First off, I'm going to be mocking the args variable, which means that I'm going to be patching the parse args, and I'll show you what this looks like. But the assumption is that I have something that calls an external library, and I don't want it to actually have to call the argument parser every single time that I run PyTest, because then I would have to pass in arguments at the command line for PyTest to actually run, which is less than helpful. So what instead I'm going to do is I'm going to tell Python, the PyTest library, I'm going to tell it, hey, pretend as if this was the response back from this function, and we can do that. And I'm going to do that in a file called test main over here. We're going to have the expected output, and we're going to double check that the value we get is in fact what we expected. We have an operation code. This just does some really simple math, right? We just provide it with a first number, an operation, and a second number, and it's supposed to do the correct math. And we have some parameters that we've added here as well for the first and the second variable. But the important thing is that we have to provide a mock argument, which is going to be the mock output from the parse args function. So we're going to create the mock value first, and we're going to call this mock args, and this is going to be coming from mock. Now this is coming from the unittest.mock library. That's the big thing right there, unittest.mock. We're going to say mock args.first is first, mock args. Let's actually just copy that, and we're going to do second, and then we have the operation or operation, and this is actually going to be op code, okay, because this is the op code that's coming in here. So we have the op code, which is going to be plus, minus, x, or divide. This is going to be instead of multiply, and the operation is the actual function. I have the lambda function up here. So it's going to take the first, and it's going to do first plus second, or first minus second, etc. Theoretically. But now we actually have to patch the function as so that we tell PyTest we're going to patch the function, we're going to pretend as if it returns this specific value. So we're going to do that using a with and a with statement with patch here, and we're going to use python videos.main parse args, and we're going to say return value equals mock args here. Okay, I'm actually going to expand this out just a little bit so that you can see a little bit better. Maybe I'll just scoot that over just a little bit, so you can see this hopefully a little bit better. There we go. So this is the mock value that we want to return back, and with that context, we're going to run value main here, okay? And then we're going to double check that the value is expected. So if I did this right, hopefully I did. If I did this right, then we should get all of the tests to pass. We're going to have, it looks like five values for first, 4 different values for 5 different values for second, so it's actually going to be 6 values for first, 5 values for second, and then 4 different here. So we should have a little bit over 100 tests that actually run, and there we go. So 120 passed in 0.12 seconds. So this provides the output that we really want without having to actually run the argument parser every single time and slow down the tests. This just tests one function, does what it's intended by patching a different function that it might call. So there you go. Hopefully this was helpful. If it was, give me a like, give me a follow, whatever. If not, ignore me. That's fine. Hopefully see you in the next video.